Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Let's start this. Let's start this recording, boys. This is analysis number God knows what. I'm gonna stop numbering these because I only do them fairly often, so I'm gonna stop numbering. This is an analysis for Luka. So, Luka, this is for you, Sonny boy. I think we've got you right here. So let's get stuck right into it, eh? I'll go at sound, but if he's talking in the video, I'll turn the sound off. Alright, I don't know what rank you are, by the way, Luka. I should have asked, but either which way. You've got default camera settings. I have met champion players who can actually play with default camera settings, but I don't know if you're a champion player, so let's find out, eh? Right, is this sound? Yeah. There we go. Right, good kickoff, good kickoff. Now you could have shot that on the net there if you had been patient and waited. You probably could have gotten the net there. Right, he gets the pop. He gets the touch. Oh, that was close. Alright. This guy's going off the roof. That was a shame. So in this position, right, this guy overcommitted super hard, right? The fact that he went off the wall there, especially from the direction he came from, there's no way he was getting a good amount of power here. So what you want to do is you want to take a hard round and sprint to the net. If you're ever uncertain, if you ever think that maybe they could get a shot on net, regardless of its speed, sprint to the net. Alright? Because if you're there, they can't hit it over your head. In this situation, because you turned in so quickly, the ball just bounced over your head, alright? But anyhow, see, the ball bounced over your head. You want to sprint to that net, make the distance, go really, really close, really fast, alright? Alright, next kickoff. See how this goes. Oh, good kickoff. You're getting on the right side of the ball and stuff when you flip into it. So that's pretty good. Oh, he goes to area. That's alright. That was just a mechanical mistake. That's just practice, which would probably be my first tip. Don't go on the wall there. You don't want to go on the wall like this. If you are going to go like this, you want to go towards the net and then turn around so that you can boom it over his head. Because as you can see right here, he's out of position. So if you quickly turn around, you can shoot at his net and he won't be able to get to it. But because you waited on the wall there, that was the original save wasn't too bad, but you don't really want to be in this position. You don't want to put yourself into the corners. Next kickoff. Another good kickoff. Your kickoffs are really solid, so clearly you might watch tutorial videos, which is a good sign, right? Just kick off you on the right side of the ball. You were just too far on the right side of the ball, so. Oh, you got the boost somehow. Oh, you're taking this shot. It's wide. Oh, that sucks. Now, you made a bit of a mistake there, not being goal side enough and going for that crazy aerial. You want to stay on the ground in situations like that. You should be able to shoot this. Yeah, beautiful. What a powerful shot. It very much does seem like you're a fan of Squishy's tutorials from the way you're shooting the ball and dribbling and stuff. Alright, running for the boost there wasn't a great idea, but going for the back boost was a good idea. You know, if you had to go on mid boost, he could have taken a shot on the net and you would have lost that. Yeah, sprint to the net, yeah, that was good. That was good. Oh, but then he turned around and if you're ever in a situation like this, right? Generally with this right here, if you're in a situation like this, you just hit the ball back to your side of the net. Alright, keep the ball close to you, keep possession, don't overextend. Right? But even if you're gonna leave the ball right there, grabbing boost wasn't a bad idea, but you pushed up after you grabbed your boost. If you're here, just wait for him. Wait for him to take his shot. Sit here and read him. If he's slowing down, you might be able to make the distance, but as it stands right now, he's got enough distance on you that no matter what he does, if you don't slow down, you're going to overcommit, right? You want to always be wary of that so that you don't. Another good kickoff, that was good. You want to turn that a little bit quicker. That's alright. You didn't commit too hard to that, so that's fine. That was a good touch. I mean, it's a bad touch by him. Oh, I don't know how that did that. Oh, that was risky. That was a really risky thing to do. Although it worked out because he's a bit of a silly. He kind of whiffed there a little bit. But if he was here, he could take this behind you and take it straight into your net, and you could do nothing about it because you have no boost. You'd never want to be right here if you have no boost. You always want to be goal side of the ball, and you don't want to commit into these corners in ones either. If you have no boost, you don't want to do that. But he managed to get it around him and it worked out. So I can't complain too much, but general rule of thumb is that would have been a mistake that would have got you scored on most games. Oh, another good kick. Now if you backboard this, oh, that was just a bit high, that's all. He's probably going to be up against that. Nah, that was good. That was a good challenge. You got it over him, but you're on the wrong side of the ball. That wasn't bad. You forced him into a bad clear. You could probably push this. Well, being on the wall there was a bit risky from you, but it worked out. That was a good demo from you. It gives you a bit of room, a bit of time to work with. Don't go off the wall here. You can go off the wall. It's alright, you got the bounce over his head. Oh, still got it. Oh, that was so bad. That wasn't a bad challenge, although you could have probably shot it up there. That was just a big overextension. As you can see, you committed into the corner with him. You see, you're waiting in the corner with him, and that's no good. If you're in this position right here, if you're where you hit that, you either challenge, keep it close to you, or you retreat. Because if you're right here, and he challenges you, no matter what happens, the ball either goes this way, or the ball goes that way, or it goes any which direction, but it won't go towards your net or his. However, he's more likely to get possession afterwards. The reason being is because if you challenge in this corner, right, you're going to be stuck in this corner, he's going to be stuck in this corner. But because it's his defensive corner, he can take an angle to take it up the field. He can bounce it along this wall, or it'll bounce center, or whatever the case is. He's more likely to win if you challenge from the corner. So you don't want to commit to the corners. You want to bait him out a little bit further so that when you do challenge him, even no matter whether you win or lose, you've got a higher chance of being able to be diverse. But as you can see, he just took it around you and dribbled it straight up. Oh, that wasn't a bad challenge at all. He might have been able to play that around you, but you saw that he was taking his time, and it was good that you decided to challenge it from that point while he was taking his time, because had he have gotten control of it, it might have been harder. That was a bit of a mistake there. Challenge it so close while it was bouncing isn't a good idea, because it's easier for him to dunk you from height than it is for you to get up to that height and dunk him, as you can see. being, no matter what happens. There's another good challenge. Your challenges are good, and at high ranks they'll really help you. I don't know what ranks I would say maybe high platinum. Oh, almost on board. That was a good challenge. I think maybe you're doing side flip challenges too much. You also want to do some front flip challenges and diagonal challenges. That was a good one. You saw that he just landed and he took it over his head. That was good. Oh, I kick-off goals just happen. You know, they're totally luck-based. Well, they're not luck-based, but alright, so the recommending, I'm just gonna play this from a random way. But the recommended things that I would do, that I would recommend for you in ones, apart from things like mechanical ability, is do more of this. Retreat a bit more. And be a little bit more conservative of your own positioning. So mechanical ability, you know, like aerial, like practice your aerial stuff like that. Don't side flip challenge too much because it can actually become very readable. In the Dominus, sometimes you kind of have to because it's a lower car. You need that sideways hitbox. But all in all, I would say just don't overextend into corners into the enemy's field. Try to respect the enemy a bit more, respect their space and their abilities, um, and be a little bit more conservative. Remember, a game is 5 minutes. It only takes you for a kickoff goal, for example. A kickoff goal takes 3 seconds. Now, that's that a kickoff goal can happen 20 times in 1 minute by that math. So if there can be 20 goals in 1 minute, imagine what you can do with 5 minutes. It's a long time. Um, and that's a long time that you can use to score. So don't overcommit, don't overextend, don't be afraid to give them the ball, to give them space, to give them respect, because at the end of the day, you can take it further than if you play cards right, you can play them. You know, one thing that Scrub Killer does very well is force the enemy into positions they don't want to be in. He plays the enemy. He basically uses the enemy as an instrument for himself. He sticks them in places they don't want to be, and then does things like forces a challenge and stuff like that. He'll bait them into corners and stuff like and into bits and pieces, and then he'll go and bully them if he's a goal down. He'll go and bump them and demo them and all that kind of stuff. Um, so you basically, in general, apart from the mechanical stuff, you don't want to overextend. You don't want to take the aerials too long. You don't want to do too many front flips to try to get yourself close to the ball. You want to do what you just did then and retreat. And also front flip a little bit more when it comes to challenges. Front flip challenges, especially in a long car like the Dominus, can be extremely helpful. Um, so don't be afraid to do them. That's really it. Mechanics. Um, not side flipping challenges too much. Uh, and don't overextend into the diagonal corners. Just give them possession and then wait for them to make a mistake that you can capitalize off.